On page Reish Chavtes, in the middle of discussing an interesting detail. He started saying that it says in Zeh, Kutchubricha Sasim Vegalia. Sasim means that the Eibush himself is above any, we have no way of knowing Likus. There's a Loshnia, Element Kelchai, Sasim and Kelchai. At the same time, there is part of Kutchubricha which is called Galia, but he revealed himself. He went into into details, elaborate details, what type of Giluim we have. So number one was, for this, like he described, for the simple person, just the fact that there is a creation around us, laws of nature, that itself is a Gilu, because we see there's a God, the Sidar God of the world. That was the lowest one. The higher level, that's the national, like he said, Anashim, but the Lashon, Misho, Bedaga, Tachtain. Then there's a higher level of Gilelikus, that's to the heavenly bodies, because the heavenly bodies not only do they show there's creation, they also show the stars are bottled today. That's in page Reish Chavtes. Show Maschaz L'Mayr. Yes, then he said there's even a higher level of Gil. Yes, Mishu Bedagel, Yeina, Masel Kusim Tiasam Alochem Asaga Shalem. Some people, some people are able to perceive godliness not only from the laws of nature and the now world, not only from the Galgalim, but also from the Malach. First of all, Mitzius Malachim, the fact that Allah, number two, Me'asaga Shalem, the fact that the Malachim are understand and grasp godliness, Shezeu Shuknes Chaim Mazen Shalem. That the sagas, the fact that Malachim, Masig, they understand and comprehend godliness, that is the Chayim Mazin, that's the life force, and that's the food that sustains them. Kamay Kain, that's one thing. Kamay Kain Ma'aveda Shalem. Also, you can understand to the way that Malachim serve the Eibishter. Shabitl Shalem. So so basically we had three general levels in Galia. The one is from the Oretz, from Shema, from Galgalim, and from Allah. Kol zeh pnes Galit B'Tshuvah. Ein b'Nivoyim Shalom Mata, so the Eibishter reveals himself in the Nivoyim Shalom Mata, like we said earlier, and K'moikim Mitzvah Shana Galgalim, K'moikim Allah. Then there's even a higher level in Malachim. Chinas Tzedek Malchus Kaddish V'Nisa'oras Amach Shalabesh V'Yah. To perceive the level of godliness, which is the aura of Spiras Malchus and V'Yah. Shazeh in B'Neshamis L'Mayla, K'regam Neshamis L'B'Yah L'Mayla. So that level of Gilul Likus to Malchus is Sai Neshamis L'Mayla and Sai L'Mayla. Shein Kin L'Kushal Malchus Dibu. So that's Galia the Kushal. The level of a likus, which is above the madrig of dibu. What he said earlier, he gave the marshal dibu machshava. So machshava is helim, dibu is gil. So he explained what dibu is, the levels in dibu. Now he goes back to machshava. Change in likus. That is the level of sasim. So, if I understand it correctly, these three general madrigas that he spoke about, Oretz and Galim and Malachim, I think it corresponds. That's what he said. Biyah. He said the Lashon Shamit Biyah. That's really, in a way, corresponds to Bri Yitzir Asir. Schengen Sosim Yeshlemer Zefnes Hatzil Shmones Machshav. So Galia is in three madrigas of Biyah, Dibu, the three levels in that. Shenkin Sosim is higher, that's higher than Gilu. It's Machshav. Because it's Chaim, everything until it's the Bria, it's in its Chaim, in the Kabbalah, in the Sefer Kabbalah, it's Chaim, describes the difference between Tzilas and Bria, says the Bria plants Dibu, it's Machshav. So that fits what we just said. או why is Atzilus Machshava? יש שהאצילוס הוא ממוצע בנוסף המעשה לנברואים. Atzilus is the level of, is the memutza, the intermediary. In Kabbalah explains what was the purpose of creation of Atzilus, so that's the sphere of Atzilus. Should be the memutza, the intermediate, the interface between Eibishter and the Nivroim. So ממילא יש הזכרת הנברואים ועשר ספירס ונשום is the ביאקב של מדרגת ואצילוס. So this is, so just like with Dibur and Machshav, whatever you think, you speak. If you think, same thing Atzilus versus Biyah, all the Nivoim of the Nivoim, he said the sphere, even as the spheres of Biyah, the Shamas of Biyah, all of them are called in Atzilus, just like we say in a mush of a Mutza. The Mutza contains with him the Makabel, the way the Makabel is going to perceive it. So that's what Atzilus is called Mashon, because it has within it all this madrigas. Ein hakavana. So the Chagav he says like this: Ein hakavana is discussion of Malchus. There's a lower level. So the scholars of all the nivoim of Biyah and Atzilus. The way of Machshava, it says, but truth, there's sometimes talks about it in a different level. It says that sometimes there's a concept of Skashmanas Malchus. Shazeo Hashem is the Malchus Manivoim the Biyah. There is a way that all the Nivoim of Biyah are called the Malchus Datzilus, which is already, like we said earlier, Malchus is Divu. In Atzilus Gufa, he doesn't use the language, but I think it's what we learned in all of my mind, the Dibu Sheba Machshav. There's a lower level in Machshav. You think what you're going to say, not you think the idea, you think what you're going to say. So that's really a lower level in Machshav. That is scholars that all the Nivoim are in Kolon Malchus Datzilus, that's already a Sar Mamoritz. Like I said, it's Dibu Sheba Machshav. Even that is higher than the actual Dibur, like in Russian. The Machshava should be the Dibur should be Machshava is higher than Dibur itself. But he says that's not what he's talking about here. Kana kavana, when we say here Sasim Machshava, Kana kavana, as spheres and shamas that Malachim that Tzilus are scholars and spheres and shamas Malachim Biyah, Moshe Madrega that Tzilus. That's like we can use the language of the Moshe. The way the mashal can be machshava, like I said, dibur sheba machshava, means you think what you're going to say. So it's not in the world of machshava, but it's already in a lower level. You're already thinking about it the same. But then there's machshava stam. You think let's say, they think the intellectual idea itself. And that contains what you're going to say also. But before you think, wow, you're going to say it. So that's called sasim. That level is never revealed. That's higher than Gil. Okay, so that is called, that is sasim. The way he describes it here. So the biyah, that's the relikus is revealed in biyah. That's gari the kuchu. Relikus not silus sasim. He explains it a little different language. In Atzilus, the spheres of Atzilus capture the essence of the likus. We are in a Metzius. The way likus is perceived in the Biyah, it's only a Sagas Metzius. Chazal talk about the chayes of the Merkava. The chayes is not the Sakis. The chayes is the Merkava, the Malachim, who carry, so to speak, the chariot, carry the Merkava. Just like in the physical, very gosh with the Kamash. The horses that carry the chariot, they don't see, they look ahead, they don't see what's happening in the chariot. And they carry it. Similar, the Chazal said, when they get to the Nimshal, the Maila, Chayv, ain't an Oizakov. Chayv means the Malachim don't see. What does see means? Even the highest level of Biyah, the Merkava is in the Mabriya, which is the highest level. Even there, ain't an Oiz. What does Oiz mean? He says, the Oiz, he knows it's a moose. general difference in seeing and hearing is that when you hear about something. When you see the thing itself. You see the essence of the thing. So ear is really a way of expressing the capturing the essence. So Mameli says, they don't see it, they just know it's there, but they don't see it, because in the world of Biyah, there's no gilui. That level of Atzilus is in a state of sussing. So in the Galia, so just because he brought in the language of Metzius and the Hus, says really these are really the two differences. The Galia of Metzius, Galia is what we usually call the idea of Metzius. You know it, you know the thing itself, you know what it is. Sosmas Atzmos, Shazeo Klolos, okay, repeats himself. Shazeo Klolos everything. Sosmas Galia, the Galia of Metzius, the Sosmas Atzmos. I believe that what he's saying is that the Mahus Adovo, that's sussing, that can never really be captured. So that is so that's why it's sussing. So okay, so to summarize what he said here, that he started discussing the inyan of sussing of Gali, the Kutshabuyichel, and he described that really does it in a way different than Biyah and Atzilus, and Biyah, the Gali of the Kutshabuyichel, that part of Kutshabuyichel, the Atzilus, is hidden there, and where is it the Gilui? Only in Atzilus. The inner clause, inner sussing of Galia, Shazain Machshav and Divu, that concept we just discussed till now. Sussing Galia, hidden and revealed. Which is compared to Machshav and Divu, thought and speech. That is also the difference about what the Zohar describes. The Zohar talks about God as the Ebershter, and like you said in Tiny Perigimel, the Ebershter, two parts, there's two ways that the Ebershter relates to our reality. One is called Mamala and Mesev Kolam, Mamala. Level of Mamala is Zel Pchinas Galia, means Mamala fills our being, which means it's revealed within us. That is that level of the early key. Contracts itself in a way that the elements can receive it. And it's possible to understand it. The pasuk says in the ear of the Mercedes touches the pasuk means that we can have a glimpse of godliness by thinking about our own experience. Because like a person feels his own neshama, he feels that he has a life force within him. Same way, he realizes the whole world is being kept alive as the life force of Halikus. Soivev, Vashenkan Soivev, Pchinas Sosim Sheinemus. Soivev Kolam means the Kaviyah that Nadregan Likus, which surrounds us. Surrounds means it's not within it. We don't digest it. We don't capture it. So it surrounds us. Makiv, that's Sheinemus. Sometimes we can't really understand and grasp. So Gam can never Muslim Tzius. So he repeats what he said in different languages. That's the only difference between the mahus of the thing. Metzius, Malu is Metzius. The inner of Mala means that level of the likus which we can know. We have a way of knowing what it is. The essence is not there. That's why we can perceive. So that is the general difference between Mal and Seif, and which is Sosim and Gal. And now he has a point. So the way we learned earlier, the difference between Sosim and Galia is Atzilus and Biyah. But now that we said that it is connected to Seif and Mamala, so it takes us a notch higher. So really, Atzilus is also part of Mamala. Agam is by Shatil Space Mahus. So how does it fit what we just said earlier that Atzilus relative to Biyah is Mahus Alikus? So what the answer is Yadosh Zakra Mahus Aziv. So it says in Bechlal, in Atzilus, it's not Alikus itself, Kaviyach, it's only the Ziv. It's only the ray, the light that comes off. That's an expression of likud. Now, in the ziv guf are the two levels. The mahus haziv, the biyayin yarak meir matzias haziv, vatzias was mahus haziv. So in the gilui gufa, there's the gilui. You capture the essence of the gilui, and you capture only the metzias of the gilui, but it's still the gilui, it's still the ziv. Kedosh vatzias harak hahor asakav meir vatzias. It says in Kabbalah, it says in what we know mostly, I guess, that what level of the kav reaches at Silus, not the Mahus HaKav, no Ha'oras HaKav. They see that's we can elaborate this along the Sugi of Knatzma, but the point what he's making is that what reaches at Silus is only Ha'oras HaKav. It's only an expression. Hashem, that's Sever, real Sever, Atzmus. What does Atzmus mean? Kedush, again, talking about in the Gili Gufa, the Atzmas Hakav. Atzilus Me'ak Ha'oras Hakav. So the ultimate sasum is above Atzilus, because Atzilus is only Ha'oras Hakav. The Komako Ein Zamikis from the sasum. Now it takes us even a notch higher. So the first we said sasum is atzilus. Now it says sasum is a kav from atzilus. So Mekomako ends up in this penis. I'm not sure. It's the words of zayin penis sasum. We can learn really two ways. It's going to be the zayin goes on the atzmas hakav. Maybe it does apply to atzilus. The truth is, he says that even the level of Seviv, even above Atzilus, it's still not the ultimate Seviv, not the ultimate Sasam. Now he's going to go into a very long discussion to prove the point that even Seviv is not the ultimate Sasam. There's a higher level than Seviv, which is the real Sasam is above Seviv. But he starts a very long discussion on that topic. But you have to keep in mind here what he's saying. That Seviv, the real Seviv is Atzmus. Yeah, I'm sure. I don't think that. I don't think we have to go split L'mayla Matzilus Guf. The general split is between Atzilus and L'mayla Matzilus. So he says that the Seviv of Atzilus is still not the ultimate sourcing. What's the right? Why are you saying that? We should gam at Seviv get our sog. Even level of Seviv, we just said all along, Seviv is the L'mayla Matzilus. Just and so Mashaina Musog, but it's the Gedar Sog. Gedar Sog means that itself cannot be captured, but it's within the realm of some of a madrega that could be captured to a degree. What's the pshat? The level of Seviv could be reached through the Asog of Mamal. He's going to go on for a very long, like I said, a very long discussion elaborating this point he just made, that Seviv is also Begeda Asog, through Mamal. So he starts, there's a few levels. Number one is going back to our original Marshal, between the Seviv Mamal, different Sas and Gali. Even Machshavin, it's like Machshavin Dibu. You see right away that to the Gali you can reach the Sasim, to the Mamal can reach Seviv. in the mashal machshava dibur, when a person speaks, it tells us what he was thinking. So we see that what he was thinking is begeder hasaga. In other words, when you're thinking and you don't speak, the second, the zulas, the other person that's sitting next to you, doesn't know what you're thinking about. But the fact that through speech you will know what you're thinking, that itself is a sign that what you were thinking is begeder of the other person to perceive it. He doesn't perceive it, but it's begeder. So, to Dibo, you can read to you telling you what you were thinking. He knows what you were thinking. Hagash machshava yelam. Two things. He says in that guf he splits it into things. Number one, number one, when he speaks, that shows us that there is machshava. Not only that, so that is the first marshal to bring out the point that level of machshava, level of saving is begeder gilui. Well, I to Dibo he can reach it. And he said in two parts. First of all, to Dibo he can know that he is thinking, you know what he is thinking. That is marshal number one. But now he goes into more, like in a way, it's a marshal which is maybe harder for us to understand, but it's more elaborate. So we see similar to that in Keiches HaNefesh, not just Machshava and Dibur. In Keiches HaNefesh we see it also. The two parts, every koyach, every attribute the person has, there's it's revealed state and the way it's hidden. What is Keiches HaGoyim Sheva Nefesh? The standard definition of the Keiches HaGoyim Sheva Nefesh is really generally divided in two parts, seichel and midas, the intellect and the emotion. So when we experience a seichel, the understanding, or the midas, the feeling, we actually feel what it is. We understand, we feel. But the hidden part itself of this feeling and the seichel, that is not. It's not itself revealed. From the fact that a person has revealed the emotions and revealed the intellect, we know that the person has that capacity, the hidden part. We see someone who is emotional. So from that we know that he has within him the inner capacity to be emotional. Same thing with seichel. Not only does he have it, not only do we know that he has seichel, that he has midas, he also said what level of seichel he has. Every person has the seichel goli, revealed intellectual attributes, and the koyach hamaskel, the potential, the ability. Like I mentioned the first time, so we see that the person has a good cook. So that's the koyach hamaskel. Seichel goli, you see as the koyach hamaskel. First of all, from the fact that the person is analyzing, discussing ideas. We know that he has the koyach hamaskel, he has the talent of seichel. Shememenu nimshach haseichel goli. V'adam atzmai, and the person within himself, he feels the fact that he has that capacity. So he feels that he's learning something, and he feels that his ability to analyze came from a certain, I would call it, talent that he has. So a person knows from not only the outside person just sees someone saying something smart, so he realizes that he's smart. That's the way it's perceived from the outside. The person himself also, he feels that he has the capacity to understand something well. That's one. Kain is more than that, more specifically. Not only do we know that he is talented, we also know what exactly the details of his talent are. That level, we call the capacity of intellectual perception and analysis, that is, has a certain shape. The when we say a person has a good head, it means he generally has the capacity to understand a lot of things. But we do see we see between people differences. That this particular person has a talent for that type of intellectual perception analysis or innovation, and the other one for different. The other person is better at other things. So, in other words, not only is from the seichel do we know that there is a koyach hamaskil, we also know what his specific shape is, what type of intellectual discipline is he specializing. The Chassidus brings a mashal always that person's chachmas, omnus, chachmas hatziyuch, chachmas hatchuna, all kind of types of chachmas. Not only that, not only do we know what, even more than that. Through the Gilui, we know the limits, how far, how smart he is. We call it simple language. How smart he is, the limits. That poitove, the koyach hamaskil. No, you have another his capacity, how far he can reach to his koyach hamaskil. Shem shesh gelukim b'chochma, sebach hazov, zach mazov, k'makim b'chochma achas, just like this. Different. This person is good at this discipline. The other one is different one. Also, b'chochma achas, in the two people are good in the same field, even that, יש גם כן חילוקים, שזה מגיע והסך בהם כזה, זה בהם כזה. See, everyone, so what we see in this entire discussion, that through the good Gilui, we can see the heaven. Through the Seichel HaGolui, we see the Koyach HaMaskil. We see, the way he described it, we see three parts. To the Seichel HaGolui, we see three parts. Number one, we see the fact that there is a Koyach HaMaskil. To the fact in what discipline is the Koyach HaMaskil. Number three, we see the scope, the capacity, how far, how good is his head. But then the Chagav, he brings in the Chagav here, which contradicts a little bit what he said till now, but later he will say that's not negay. So what is he saying? There's one thing, there's one part of the Chamaskal it's impossible to know from the Begoli. We listen to someone speaking, and we see that he explains something, but there's a limit. He has a limit, like right? So that reveals that's the limit of Koyach HaMaskil. That is a capacity is limited. But there's one thing we cannot know to the Koyach to the Seichel Golem. What is it? That there's a deeper place in a person. A person can reach intellectually, not in a direct way, but means how do we say reflecting light, which means so two things. Number one are the koshes al-hamidim, talmid machmir sabit. There's some depth of a scholar that a person can reach only when he has, like it says, talmid mikulam, because talmid machmir sabit. That if he's teaching it to students or below him and they ask him questions, that question can bring out something deeper. Now, but that's if you have a talmid, come on, they hear. And even without Talmud, if he learns not standard way, but in a way of gear, special effort, can also reach more than his original town. And it brings in the famous Zoya, the Machakale Lamain the Dike, that, like I said, the Pasuk says, Ein le'os hakim zelosecha ya'asa l'machakale. The whole, like I said, this is a matter. The whole Samachvar is based on that. That there's a level. Ein le'os hakim zelosecha. There's a level of Gila Likus. We're talking already here about Gila Likus. Because in Chassidus it uses the same concept. There's a level of Gila Likus. Ein le'os. No, I ever saw the Kim zelosecha. Only the Eibush saw. But that level can be reached to machakal. Somebody who yearns for it. Says the Zohar Pshat, what's what machakal I mean? Man, the people who invest a lot of effort, the dike and the dike, then he can reach higher. He can reach even the level, but I know what's looking to the sech. Upon him, so he's maram as it's all arichas and 3 words. Point is that there is a level of Koyach HaMaskil that you can reach. That if you see somebody giving us like a shiur, and you see that he has limits. There's some things he cannot explain. So that shows that Koyach HaMaskil is limited. That's what he just said. But he says, but there are levels that are not revealed in a normal way. This is something that the Koyach HaMaskil reaches through either Kosher Talmidim or the Igir. That it's impossible as to know when he just in a state of Seichel Golem. And so the R'Dovid says, "Agam ze yedua shakli al ze achar mshach ne'alam es Koyach HaMaskil." Even that level that he's going to reach through to Talmidim and to Igir, it's also from Koyach HaMaskil. שזה פני sakli al geluim to b'derech ha'chayzer. וזה הנה דיו בצחוק בסוף. אימן, ואיפנה המשך נעלם, ואיפנה זה הגילום ב'derech ha'chayzer. Stam, like I said, it's almost like a Maimar Musgar. But he's trying to bring out here that those Seichel Goli, we know how to Seichel on other Koyach HaMaskil. So he says, there is a level of Koyach HaMaskil that is not revealed. That's only revealed if there is the Igiyah. Says the truth is, even that level that's revealed to Igiyah also shows it's also a result of the Koyach HaMaskil. That means who gets Chachma on a person who's already Chakimi. He has the Keli Chachma himself. So even the Chachma, even the higher level of Chachma he gets through Igiyah, it's all Chakimi. It's only to someone who has Sot Gehamas. Harzois Iyaf Shalom Aleida. But going back to the original discussion, that level from a regular Seichel Agoli, we cannot reveal that level of Koyach HaMaskil. That level is really comes from Koyach HaNsof Shebenefesh. But Gilum Shebederech HaYosha, at a regular standard, orderly, gradual Giluim on Yechenim Leida. What do we do? Shemasech ba'amka shelo begilah v'niyodim ad Yechen yochel lagiv Koyach HaMaskil. It's written a little convoluted, but the point is that it says, put Chayzer aside. The regular way that Koyach HaMaskil to the Seichel Golem, we know the Koyach HaMaskil. Upon to summarize this whole discussion, so just like you said earlier, when you get to Machshava and Dibur, to Dibur, we know that he's thinking, what he's thinking, how he's thinking. So the same thing in Koyach HaNefesh to the Seichel Golem, for example, we know that he has a Koyach HaMaskil. We know what this Koyach HaMaskil specializes in, and we know its limits. That's the point. Then he said, no, then he throws in a few words. So this much of Koyach HaMaskil from Seichel, that applies to the rest of the Koyach HaNefesh. Can say something similar about the rest of the Koyach HaNefesh. The Midas is also the level of Midas, the way it's revealed, and that shows. And let's say a person is very very charitable, that shows his inner capacity for charity, etc. And the detail, how charitable is, etc. All this is a must. All this is to prove the point we made at the bottom of page Reish Tes. Then the nimshal shall yidei memali yedim asay asay kohen. To memali nasay. So he goes into a little discussion how it works. The level of memalit, the level of the memalit, the oil that fills us, sorry, that level that reaches us, that's called memalit. So that itself, that's only the word, a reflection, a ray from the koyach haliki. Really, that is something we can understand in our mind, that the level of godliness that's revealed to us is only our the fact that he can reach us, that itself is a sign. That's our because in a place of slapshus. In other words, the fact that he relates to us, it's already a sign that it's not he himself. He himself is not shy, is not together to each other. Okay, he says it in very short words, but to put it in different words, we feel that the Eibishter relates to us. So the fact that he relates to us, that itself tells us that it's not he himself. It's only an expression of this. So that shows that there is a deeper level, the source of the that's number one. That's how we know from Mamala we know Savior. Since Mamala reaches us, Mamala is too not what's the word? Not strong enough, so to speak, to be its own. It's only an expression of something. So there must be a source of the expression. Not only that, so we mail it from the Mamala we not Savior. Not only we know, not only we know that Savior exists, we also know that Savior is above the all. Because in order for us to be created, there has to be a very powerful source for it. So we know that move. It's not that we know how remove these, how much of a pellet it is. We just know that it is. What do we see? So again, to repeat the same point, that from the hour we know that there is a source, there's and the fact that he is above. So that's also a level of knowledge. So we're trying to understand, explain, is in the process of explaining how to malavi not say. So number one, we know that there is say, there is acts. Number two, we not only know that he is there, but we know that he's higher. We know that he's higher level. Number three, there's also a type of knowledge from a knowledge. Not only do we know that he is there, not only do we know that he's higher, we know how the way he's removed from us. And even that is also called yidiyah. It's also called knowledge. That is called in the Rambam the negative descriptions. שגם זה הפרס תיירים. So, if you learn the Rambam, that when you say the Eibishter is wise, it's Chacham, the Eibishter is so it's a wisdom. We cannot. The truth is, wisdom is a quality that's the way we perceive it, the way we can reach it is only it's a human quality. So we can't apply human quality of wisdom to the Eibishter because the Eibishter is above this. Says the Rambam, when we say he's smart, it doesn't mean he's smart. It doesn't mean he's wise. It means Torah Shil is not smart. He does not have the chisaron of not being smart. We can't call him smart. Because smart is a very human attribute which we can apply to the Eibishter. The Eibishter is above any human attributes. All the things that we can relate to don't apply to the Eibishter. So what I would say, there's something called Torah Shlila. We talk about it and we only say what he's not. He doesn't have the chisaron of not being smart. So he says, even that's called Torah Shlila. Say the Eibishter Ato Giber, for example, he's strong, strength. Ato Giber, strength. Kinds of the strength, the way we perceive it, is a human attribute, like I said. That's impossible to talk that the Eibishter that language. Says the Rambam, what does it mean to say Ato Giber? It means he doesn't have the chisaron of not being a Giber. That's called Torah Shlila. So even that is called Torah. Going back to the discussion here, he says that when we talk about Aflov there and so, it's not only do we know that he's there, then we answer that was the same. Not only do we know he's there, not only do we know that he's much higher than us, we also know how much do we know in this negative sense. We know that he doesn't have the chisaron of not being, like I say, smart or strong or charitable. So that is Torah Shlil. So also, Gam Nika Torah is Torah. So even Torah Shlil is also Torah. So to summarize this little discussion here, we see here in the mashal, in the nimshal, first part, but in the mashal and the nimshal also, that Tumemala we can say in simple language, it's like this. If you look at this world, we see that there is a world out there. Ain't Davar says the world did not create itself. There must be a power that created it. So then we dissect it. So the power created it. There is the actual power created it. That's something which is not it's not the essence of the creator. It's the power that created. That's the whole. So the fact there's a power means there is there is the source of it. That's number one. Tumimala means the act of creation. Save means the source of it. So that's not step one. Step two is not only do we know that he is there, we know that he's so strong that he's higher than the killer. And the third level, he says Torah Shlila. We know we can call it idea. We know that he doesn't have the chisaron of not being able to do something. That even can be called Torah. That's the description. And what's the word? Title. Torah is called title, but in our case, description. Not only description, it's also called idea. We know it. So we see from this entire discussion that in Sevev, there is we have a certain level of knowledge about Hasaga and Sevev. Now he's taking all this long discussion is taking us back to the last line of page Reish Haftes. So from this entire discussion, we see that the level of, because if you remember, he was in the middle of this saying that Sevev is really not the ultimate sasim. It wasn't sasim. And Galia said, he said, no. He said, Sevev is not the ultimate sasim. Well, there is some level of Hasaga. Sevev. But the Fat Meshalim, Shav and Dibo, Kaychas Agluim, Kaychas Elamim. And in the Nimshal, it's the Tumemala, we can perceive Sevev. That means that Sevev is together, we should be able to perceive it somehow. Tumemala tak. Shazer Kavana Ba'or, Shadeza Yedas Atzi. Not only. Okay, now he throws in another point here, which says in Kabbalah, not only is the fact that Ha'or tells us, that the Mala tells us there is Sevev, not only that there is, the higher it is, Actually, that was one of the intentions of being a God. Should not save it. The point of the hour is we should get to know the answer. So he brings in another few sources to prove this particular point. It says in Pardes, it says in Kabbalah that Atzilus is called Shmoishel. It's the name. Why? The Kavana, Motzav Atzilus, they say Yedu Asayr Sof Shalamaylam Atzilus. What is a name? A name is something you have to know who is this. That's his name. That to the name we capture. So Atzilus, the way the Pardes describes this, Atzilus, which in our Maimah, this is like the Madrig of Memale Kol Almin, like we said later. Remember, bottom of page for this. It says that Tzilus is Mahus Ziv, that's Memale Kol Almin. Through that, the purpose, the kavanah, the intent of creation of Atzilus is and so not only is the fact that two Mamala we not save, if that was the whole purpose of Mamala. The purpose they actually created the world in a way. Because Mamala, so we should not save it to it. Like they could have created the world with Tata Mamutza. If it would be Tata Mamutza, there would be no if there would be no Mamutza, we would have no way of connecting to Sapshal Mamala. The reason they actually created Atzilus, Mamala, is Shalidei Zayeda Sapshal Mamala. Then brings another marshal. Like I said, Kabbalah in general is full of mishalim that are sound very gashmic, almost called magushim. In other words, if you don't pay attention to the concept, you can take it. It can sound very material, physical. So what's the marshal? He says that Tzilus is like a yad shalakli. It's like a handle of a cup. There's the cup. In order to reach the cup, you have to take the handle. So it's a mush. Just like when you want to take a mug, you have to take it by the handle. Handle. I mean, that's the way it is in simple life. So that's a mush. Like to Atzilus is like the handle to which we get the Sapshal Mamala. Frankly, I'm not sure what that particular mushal adds, but it showed how the purpose, and I think maybe it strengthens the purpose. What's the purpose of a handle? It has no purpose other than that the handle should be able to take the cup. So maybe that part of the marshal, that's why it's negated, because the whole purpose of Atzilus, it's just like a handle to which get the and like you said earlier, the whole purpose of Mamala to get saved. So he just added another question. First, he said that the fact is that to Mamala is not saving. To Atzilus, then he added another. Not only is that a fact, that was the purpose actually of Atzilus. The purpose of Mamala is so we should get saved. So it's another. It strengthens the point that he made that Tumah Mali we capture saving. So what is the end result of this entire discussion? That Tumah Mali, to Atzilus, we can reach them saving. It means that we could. There's shayachs. That's the whole point is making. He started in Reish of Tes. That until now, in the beginning of this Maimah, I spoke about Gali and Sassim. There's hidden and revealed Seir Mamal. He says, actually, Seir is not the ultimate Sassim, because the fact is that Seir could be captured to Mamal. Not only that, the whole point of Mamal is we should capture Seir. So that shows that even the level of Seir is revealed, is expressed in a way it should be revealed. It should be captured. So we can't call it Sassim. Sassim means hidden. We can't call it hidden. Madrig of Atzmus, which is above Seviv, it's not just like Seviv, which is the Malamasach, but it's Begeder Asach that we can reach it to Mamale. Atzmus is that level, which is Malam Begeder Asach. It's not even in the realm of being able to be captured to the intellect. Kedua sheyesh brings in an interesting line. Kedua sheyesh ma shenei demetzius evolim behutze v'yesh ma shenei demetzius gam. Some things we know that they're there. We don't know what they are. But some things we don't even know that they're there. There's a level is there, but then we don't even know he's there. The lower level is we know he's there, but you know what he is. And later that's the level of Sefer, the regular Sefer. The level of Amit is in the Sasim. The higher level of Sasim is Shalei Naidam and Tzilsangam. Now he changes the language in Kabbalah language. Very amazing language of a So these two madrigas and Sasim that he just spoke about, the majority of the conversation was about the Sasim, which is Begeder Gidul. The last two lines, it says there's a higher level. The Atzma said these two madrigas, they're based on language of a This is what we know in Chassidus, that Chassidus talks that Keser Elyon, which is that level, which is above Atzilus. It's above, just like I said, like the crown. Crown means something which is above the body. It's hidden. And that go for the two madrigas, says Chassidus. Chinas, because there's a famous introduction. That there's a shah in Ramak, in the part of Ramak, Aima Insaf or Keser. Because in Kabbalah, before the Ramak, there was a Machlekes. I don't know what the get of Machlekes in Kabbalah, but it says that whether the Insaf is, there's a kind of called Keser. Question was, is the Insaf the Keser or not? And the Ramak said, let's make a shot. Let's make a compromise. That Keser is to Madrigas in it. There's Insaf and there's not. So he says, the level of Kesser itself has two stages, two levels in it, the external and the internal. חיצון is a Kesser from the Sar Champin Sheroy Shemokal Netzolim. חיצon is a Kesser the Madrigal Farech Champin, which is the Roy Shemokal Netzolim. It's the source of the Netzon, of the emanate of the spheres of Atzilus. It's called Arich Anpin, which in English means long face. Long is in the sense, long means great, in the sense like, let's say, means in the sense of greatness. So there's a face. Face means that the spheres of Atzilus are called Ze'er Anpin, smaller face. Diminished face. And Kesser is called Arachan. So there's already a face. Anpin means face. There's a face. It means it's already a marker for the Etzolim, for spheres. So because that level of Kesser is a source of the Netzolim, so to him, they can know that marker. So that is the lower level of Sosim that we just spoke before. The Seviv that can be perceived to Memale, Yoidi. Then there's a level of which is called the Pnimis HaKesser, Atik. Like I said, the source of the word Atik Yoimin means old. Atik means old. And I think it's a passage in the Nil. Atik Yoimin. So Atik Yoimin means Archanpin is an expression from Kabbalah, but Atik Yoimin is an expression from the Pasuk. So Atik Yoimin means Russian old, but Atik also has another meaning. Shenetak, removed. Netak means is removed. Like you move something. It's called Latik. מילא לגילוי אין השייך שיהיה לבחינה זו. So male, these two madrigas in Sev and Sasim we just discussed are also these two madrigas in Kesef. All right.
שכוח.